Well, well, well. Hello, people. We've got him back. He's moved. He's finally got his Wi-Fi after a couple of weeks. You getting settled and sorted, bro?
Yeah, everything's getting put in place, and what I want to do is I want to create this room here. I want to make it my studio.
Oh, nice,
So I'll
nice.
have some of our like snippets from our other shows and on the back wall, stuff like that.
Oh, cool,
Yeah.
cool. All right. Well, look, we're not going to waste time, guys. We've got quite a bit to talk about, so we want to get straight into it now. Before I start sharing the screen, when you write that on a piece of paper, right? Is that a one? Is it an I? Is it an L? When you not, I'm not talking about typing. I'm talking about when you write, right? It could be any of them. And the other thing I want to remind you of is the number two. I know you're probably looking at it back to front, but if you write the number two and then kind of turn it over, I don't know if you can see that, but it's a mirror of a five. Okay. So a two is a mirror of a five, and a one could be an I or an L. And the reason that I want to show you that is so you'll get a bit of an understanding of where I'm going with this presentation. All right. So if you haven't watched the one we did last the previous one, it's over on Odyssey. Again, I'll put the link in the show notes. Um, but this is going to be this is part one of two, where we're going to be talking about how the 666 has been hijacked. People panic. Oh, it's 666. It's the mark of the beast. 666 is this realm. It really is that simple. Six carbon. Six
Pro-
protons, six neutrons is what makes up carbon. Yeah. Um, and we know that this, if you looked at our copy and paste, you'll understand that this is not a carbon copy of the original, but a carbon copy. Okay. Now, before I get into this, big shout out to Jim, my buddy Jim, who sent me these breakdowns of what these three words mean. Okay, so we have this one, we have this one, sometimes used instead of he or she, and we have this one. Put the three together, and what do you have?
Mm.
Okay, in your face.
Yeah. Have you ever heard that ZE word used ever?
Yeah, you will eat the bugs.
But no, in terms of like in as a pronoun.
No,
I've never, but
no,
I mean, yeah,
no.
they have it. They have it if they want it, right?
Yeah, this is from Cambridge Dictionary. Yeah.
Mhm.
And talking of that, it brought me into this. You can see what this lady's job is, but I want to bring your attention to her surname, D''ATH. Now we know that just an apostrophe replaces a letter, as in it is becomes it's. Um, and that's her job. and if you break down her name, yeah, it's all fives or all twos, whichever way you want to look at it. This is another one of these people, and another one, and another one, and another one. I mean, it's a joke. It's all mockery.
If they're the health ministers, someone has to really check and examine the brains of the people who put these people in office, because
You would think so. You would think so.
there's nothing healthy about the way. Look, and I'm not basing it just on their appearance. I mean, their health is in extreme peril.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But again, it's just an example of mockery.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get back to the dollar bill. and the pyramid. Lots of speculation. We talked about this at length in the last video. So what we've got, you've got the detached pyramid at the top, which is 616. And below you have the realm, which is 666. MDCCLXXVI across the bottom. And we showed it, Harry, by wrapping those letters around the three pyramids. There are 3 pyramids in Giza, to show we've got the 1,110. The zeros mean nothing, so you've got your 111 at the top and your 666 at the bottom. Well, if we join them together, 616, we get another pyramid, and we know the symbolism of the pyramids. If we go the other way at 161 and put them together, then what does that remind you of? Oops, nothing to see here. Nothing to see
And
here.
and they're telling you right there, we are the top 1%.
Yep.
You guys are the bottom feeders. But one thing people have to get by now is that the 666 is called the beast system for one reason, is because the top elites, if you want to call them that, they think that compared to them, we are beasts.
Yeah.
We are monsters.
And we showed that, or we proved that, if you look it up in Black's Law Dictionary, what definition of a human, it actually says a monster, beast.
So naturally, the system we're in is their beast system. We are the beast. Not that we are, but that's what we're called.
That's right. And we know how many degrees there are in this organization. The compass is set at 47 degrees, and of course the square is 90. If we add them together, we get 137, and 137 is the 33rd prime number.
And if you don't add them, but if you break them down, you get that 911 again.
Yeah. 4 and 7 is 11 plus your 9. Yeah. All right. So am I pushing it, guys? Let me know, or let us know in the comments. With the help of my buddy Mike from Sherlock's Apprentice, I'll put a link to his channel.
Can I answer the question too?
Yeah.
Yes, you are pushing it.
You think so?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. It was Mike from Sherlock's Apprentice that led me down this road. He's been doing a lot of work on 51, which I'll show you in a minute. So look, if you've got a phone and you've got an app, whether it be Facebook or WhatsApp or any of those things, would you say that an app is a form of AI? Yeah, I would say so. Now, I've just shown you the difference between one and an I on a piece of paper. They look the same. So what do we get if we break down APP? A is the first letter, P is the 16th. Change that I into that one into an I, and you get AI 616 right in the APP. That's what they call them here in China. They don't call them apps, they call them APPs. One of the biggest stories in the Bible involves an apple. We know that, or we're told that E-L-L-E, don't forget, it's Hebrews read from right to left, is God. So if we do the same with Apple as what we've just done with the app, we get AI 616 God. Jason talks a lot about the AI on archaics. Now, what do many people worship? Okay, Apple, right? We've got AI 616 God. 616, top of the pyramid, the all-seeing eye. What do many people worship? Cash, money, right? It even has "In God We Trust" on the back of the $1 bill. But it's just paper. We only think it's money. You're putting the trust. What are you putting the trust in? You're putting the trust in God. This used to be backed by gold. It's not backed by gold anymore. This is real money. There's a channel, I won't bother linking it. There's a channel on YouTube called Bo Polny, Polny, and he's a financial analyst. He's well into the Jesus juice, but he's really, really good at what he does. He hasn't been wrong yet. And he calls gold God's money. Okay. He always refers to it as God's money. But we know, or we're told, that God is L. So what do we get if we remove the L from gold? Oh, this crossed my radar the other day, Harry.
Yeah.
Jeremiah 8:8. Now we like a bit of Jeremiah, and it's interesting that it's 8:8, and we talk a lot about the 8, the recycle. Just read the first couple. How can you say we are wise, for we have the law of the Lord, when actually the lying pen of the scribes has handed it falsely?
Mm-hmm.
We are wise because we have the word of the Lord, when your teachers have twisted it by writing lies. They're telling us, and we've missed it all these years.
You know, you never go to a church service and the pastor never reads Jeremiah 8:8.
No, he wouldn't read Jeremiah 4 either, would he?
No, he
No.
wouldn't. He would never emphasize that. Hey, guys, today read this, because you'll see that the Jeremians, they actually saw the destruction.
Yeah. Now, funnily enough, for those of you who don't know, Harry and I first met a few years ago now on Jeff Darty's channel. I was a moderator. We had a bit of a falling out, and he kicked us both out. But a video popped up in my feed yesterday where he was talking about the secret of Elvis, and I thought, oh, because this new Elvis movie's just come out, right? And the synchronicity got the better of me, and I thought, why is that coming up now? Why is this popping up in my feed? Well, anagrams of Elvis, lives and evils. Okay, now we know, any of us that are older than 50 years will know that this dude basically changed the course of American society back in the early mid 50s. Changed everything. So I thought, okay, well, let me use this little decode. Okay, so we've got a 1 that looks like an I. 9 and a 6 are interchangeable because they're both inversions. I is the 9th letter of the alphabet. So we can use a little bit of poetic license in order to decode some of these words by recognizing that the 1, the I, the 9, and the 6 are all pretty much interchangeable. So Elvis was known as the king, and some people literally worshipped him. He would have been like a god to them. And it's interesting that his name starts with L-E-L, which God. Poetic license, no. VI is 6 in Roman numerals, and S is the 19th letter. So if we look at Elvis's name in that light, we've got L, or God, 619. The 6 and the 9 as above, so below, the yin and the yang. So L616, telling us again that the God of this world, this realm, L, is 616 and not 666. So if we go back to cash, VI in Roman means 6, but it can also be read as a 5 and a 1. Now, this is where Mike, Sherlock's apprentice, work comes in. He's got a couple of videos on his channel. They're only 5 or 6 minutes, not very long, where he talks about the importance of the 5115. 5 is it also looks like an S, so your 5 and 1 can become an S and an I. If we put them together, oh look, there is God.
God's money.
Yep. Now, just to digress a little bit, but not really. A popular petrol company in the UK is called Esso, E-S-S-O. Break it down. Names are not arbitrary. I'll show you what arbitrary means in case you don't know. So we've got E is the 5th letter, S is the 19th, O is the 15th. So we put them all together. We got 51, 919, 15, or if you flip it, 15, 616, 51. Arbitrary, determined by chance, determined by chance, whim, or impulse, right? So they're not, these names are not arbitrary. They're created for a reason. I'm sure most people have seen the movie They Live. In God we trust. Most people will be aware of this because this has been a big talking point of the symbology of what this actually means. But what caught my eye is the fact that it in the 16th, 616. None of this is by chance. In part 2, we're going to be looking at the number 216, which is 6 times 6 times 6. But again, this is a hijack. The real meaning of 216 has got nothing to do with 666, but we're going to use 666 to prove it. It's all a con. It's a hijack. BP is another British petrol company. We're told it stands for British Petroleum. Oh yes, oh yes. B is the second letter, P is the 16th. So BP is 216. Okay. 216 times 2 is 432. 432. They changed the tuning frequency from 432 to 440 about 100 years ago. 432 is the Schumann resonance, basically. And the Schumann resonance is human resonance. Shh, don't tell anyone.
No, you humans.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, again, if you look at the way the word Schumann is spelled, S-C-H, right? But it's pronounced Schumann. Well, S-C-H is the beginning of the word school. And we pronounce the C in school. So why is it not the Schumann resonance? Because it's the human resonance, which is 432, which is 2 times 216. It's all a con. They've made us, or they've made, not us, but they've made people scared of themselves. I mean, you look at the CERN logo, you look at the Google logo, you look at the World Economic Forum logo, you all see all these logos with the 666. I mean, oh my God, you know, look, they're taking the piss, guys. It's mockery.
Well,
it's sheer mockery.
The enemy became all of us when the muzzles went on. Remember, it didn't matter if you were African American, Chinese, Mexican, Black, African American, whatever. You could have been anything. And now, if they weren't muzzled and you were, they were your enemy. I was your enemy. So even people of the same ethnic backgrounds have different mental outlooks. You still were your enemy, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So the mark, we've talked about this ad nauseum. The mark of the beast is cash. It's either in your right hand, you're spending it, or your forehead, you're thinking about it. It really is that simple. It's not that. People think, oh, no, bullshit. You know, I haven't had it, and I can go and buy shit, you know. So it's not that. It's simply cash. And what they've done is they've just used it in the same way as I said to you, Harry, that, you know, if you've got a person in who's an abuser in a relationship, whenever he abuses his partner, it's always her fault. You know, you made me do it. You made me. Well, they've turned everything around. They've made us scared of ourselves by tricking us into thinking that the 666 is the devil. And I'll tell you when they first fucking did it. Do you remember the Omen movie?
Oh yeah, I think I told you. You know,
I think you did. Yeah.
When they move the kid's hair,
Yeah.
and man, it's embedded as a little tattoo there. Yeah, they did that in the 70s. They scared the shit out of
Yeah.
everyone, thinking that Damien
Yeah, that
was
was him. Damien
the
was
son
the
of the
son.
devil.
Yeah, yeah. That is programming. I mean, that is just total predicted programming.
Well, and then
You know
and
what I
then
mean?
of course the false church has spread that number. I think most people, let's see, 20 years ago, would have not known what 666 meant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just an arbitrary number. But then what happened? Apple comes out with their first computer, and how much did it cost?
$666.66.
Yeah, crazy, isn't that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And of course, it's Apple, and we've just shown AI 616EL. Yeah, it's all there. They twist like they do with everything. They've twisted everything.
Yeah,
You know?
the typical pastor behind the pulpit will say, "This is God's design," but we know it's their script.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you can see this, but right here on my cigarette pack, maybe you can see it right on the corner there. It's 666.
Well,
And
well, like you said though, in China, 666 is a number that is loved and is looked at as being lucky. So
mm,
wouldn't be surprising to find that on a pack of cigarettes. Just like here, you'd see 777 as your jackpot.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, the 666 in China to them it represents
Good luck. No money. Whoa. How is that not
another
obvious?
little clue, another little clue. Yeah.
And the West does not want you to go to China. They don't make it easy. They don't make it, you don't see ads, come to China, vacation in China. Yeah, never.
You know, if growing up in the West, even when I was growing up in the West, if anybody has said to me, "Hey, where are you going to go on holidays? You want to go to China?"
No.
I don't, no, no.
Okay.
It's all conditioning.
Yeah.
It's all conditioning. And yet Westerners, they love Westerners here,
Yeah.
right? They make you as welcome as the spring flowers. You know, I get total straight. I even get police. You know, I've had police when I'm on my way to work or coming home, and you know, a cop car will drive past, and the guy or passenger will wind down his window and go, "Hello." It's probably the only English word this guy knows, but it happens. It happens all the time. Total strangers. Hello, hello. You know. Um. So yeah, again, it's more conditioning. It's oh, you don't want to go there. Um, you know, Asia in general. I mean, Thailand became quite popular back in the 90s as a tourist destination, but you wouldn't think of going to Cambodia or, you know, I've been to Vietnam twice. Vietnam is absolutely beautiful, stunning, stunning beaches, awesome.
But
Um,
they'll never advertise that to the West as a destination vacation.
no, and you know, I lived in West Australia for 14 years, and West Australia has got probably some of the most pristine beaches in the world. And when I went to Vietnam, I'm looking at these beaches and I'm going, oh my God, these are the same as Australia, West Australia. The beaches are beautiful. The
Mhm.
people are nice.
Mhm.
Cambodia is the same. I've been to Cambodia half a dozen times. I've got a friend over there that I go and see. I used to work with her here in China. She went to Thailand and then she went to Cambodia teaching. So I've been over to Cambodia half a dozen times. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But yet, you know, they're not really on your bucket list, are they?
No.
You know, and they should be. I mean, there's parts of China. I've been to many places in China, but no, I've not been to the Great Wall. I want to go. I want to go and see what the terracotta soldiers are all about. You know, in Xi'an. But yeah, I'll get there one day. I'll get around to it.
Mhm.
But yeah, as I say, the 666 in China actually represents, it's 888 that represents good luck. But 666, people would pay to get a phone number that's got 666 in it, because to them it attracts
Money.
attracts wealth. It's all
Mhm.
it's all connected to money. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Which to me is just another what's the word I'm looking for? another tick on my checklist, where talking about what 666 actually is, and what we've been taught it is, because what we've been taught it ain't.
Well, if the mainstream, this is the rule of thumb that I tell everyone. If the mainstream is saying something, then the opposite is
Oh Lord, yeah. I mean, if the mainstream told me it was raining, I'd go and have a look.
Well, they are controlling the weather, so they mean.
Oh my word! Anne Marie was just talking about that. She was saying that Jason also talked about controlling the weather. Well, I don't know if you remember, but when they had the Beijing Olympics, there was snow. Ooh, where did that come from? A couple of days ago, in the south of this town, the rain was so bad, it was the roads were 3 feet in water. And yet up here, well, we there was a bit of a thunderstorm here, but no flooding like there was in the sad part of the town. My mate Jim sent me a little video. I'll flick it over to you, Harry.
You did. You showed me the video where all the water was coming down like crazy.
With the thunderstorm. He said he's lived in Chongqing for years. He said, I've never ever seen anything like this. No.
Well, if you remember when we grew up, the weathermen, it was surprised that they could keep their jobs because they were wrong so often.
They were always wrong.
Now they can't, they're never wrong. It's if they predict rain in 2 days, it's here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not a prediction, it's what's on schedule. They've got it programmed that they're gonna see the clouds with the chemtrails, and then 2 days later we got the storms there.
Yep, it's crazy. All right, bro, anything you want to finish with?
No, I just I want to just say thanks for being patient. Trying to transition to a new place is not easy, and hopefully I can get some topics down. I want to encourage everyone to watch as many episodes of the Archaic channel as they can, because the amount of information is just so voluminous. I mean, he talks about so many of the things that we talk about, but he's got the timelines, and he shows, even though he uses some of the terminology that we won't, it's just referencing points, right? When we talk about 1,000 years and the added 1,000 years, he may just reference the 1500s or the 1800s.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see how these timelines that Jason talks about, how they play out.
Well, as I say, Anne Marie was just talking about him in a very, very positive way. She's in the middle of moving as well, guys. So we've got to give her a couple of weeks to get sorted and settled, and we'll get the old, as she calls us, the Fab Four back on, and we're going to get Jason on now that we've got the time. Now I know what the time difference is. So so we'll get Anne Marie, Kim, and Jason. So all right, well, let's wrap it up there. Thanks again, guys. Please leave your comments below, and we will see you this time. I'm going to need a few days to get this 216 put together, so probably be if I can get it done for the weekend, I will. If not, it'll be early next week.
All right.
Okay. All right. Catch you later, guys. Thanks again. Love ya. Bye.